a very important announcement to make. Now, many of you have heard about my project, His Immortal Majesty. You all know what it's about. It's about a former human king getting turned into a vampire against his will and having to flee to the vampire kingdom, where he meets the adopted human prince, Gale, of Queen Nezera, who rules over the vampire kingdom of Dredora. This new project is going to be just as exciting as His Immortal Majesty, as when I wrote His Immortal Majesty and all that. I do love my boys so dearly. However, unfortunately, His Immortal Majesty must come to an end, and I have to leave my boys for my new girls. This new project goes underneath the acronym HER, H-E-R, and thanks to both Esther and Nia, I will credit them down in the description box below. This full title is Her Eternal Reign. Her Eternal Reign is about a shape changer, or shapeshifter if you will, named Vesta. Vesta lost her family at the age of 14, and she has been rendered homeless at the same age, therefore having to do odd jobs since she was a teenager before her 15th birthday. That is very important. And she ends up losing her most recent job as a mercenary at the age of 26, since her boss is a kind-hearted man who's not going to leave her stranded and having her do more odd jobs to find something stable enough. He suggests that he goes to the Moth Kingdom of Vitalis and applies to be a member of security personnel for the Moth Queen. The Moth Queen is having some trouble, I guess, sleeping at night because someone, she does not know who, is going around and killing members of her court, members of her inner court, and people outside of her court for seemingly no reason. And because she fears for her life, she has sent out applications for a security detail team of just one person, just the one person, to keep her safe at night. Vesta ends up going to the Moth Kingdom to apply, and the Moth Queen sees her arrival before she can even apply and sends out the guards to Vesta to retrieve her so that she can offer the position to Vesta. Since Vesta was going to apply anyway, she immediately accepts after a few maybe prying questions, and she is thus briefed on the details of the job and what her responsibilities are, where she can go, where she cannot go, etc., etc. And she ends up getting very, very close with the Queen. There is a very special reason as to why I'm not saying the name of the Moth Queen, and that is because she's inspired by another wonderful friend of mine, and I love her so much. I was debating on naming the Queen Angel, but then I decided, no, hold on. I've had the plan to name a character this type of name for, I wouldn't say a while, but quite a bit. I've had the urge to name a character this type of name for a little bit, for a hot minute, if you will. I didn't really have any inspiration as to Vesta's appearance. However, I did have very much a lot of inspiration for the Moth Queen's appearance, and therefore I ended up using some screenshots I took off of Instagram of Desiree M. Ortega. Desiree was my inspiration for the Moth Queen, and the last name of the Moth Queen I had to change because I didn't want to get sued. So now the Moth Queen's name is Desiree Orton. Desiree M. Ortega has been a huge inspiration for me lately, and I have always wanted to name a character Desiree, especially lately within July and this month already. So I basically gave myself an excuse to name a character Desiree just so I could, show Desiree some love, Desiree in real life, some love, and show her that she inspired me to make a character. You know that merch that says, I can't write you into my novel, my characters are supposed to be interesting? Well, I'm writing Desiree into my novel, essentially, because I find her very interesting. I find her to be a very pleasing and interesting person. Therefore, she is my inspiration for the Moth Queen, and therefore, the Moth Queen is named Desiree after Desiree M. Ortega. So her eternal reign is now a forced proximity, not an enemies to lovers, but a forced proximity queer adult fantasy romance featuring a Moth Queen and a shapeshifter. Now, you heard me talk a little bit about Vesta and who she is. I didn't really have any inspiration for her, but now we are moving on to Desiree, the Moth Queen. You already heard me blab on and on about how she was inspired by Desiree M. Ortega, but now to the meat and potatoes of who she is as a character in the book. Queen Desiree, she likes gardening. She often sneaks out early in the morning. She will often wake up before the dawn, and she'll sneak out to her greenhouse where she takes care of bluebells and ivy. And she also tends to a shy plant, which I think is a whole mood, because the shy plant, whenever somebody touches it, it curls away, hence the name shy plant. It's also called the touch me not plant, which would explain the curling away and everything. So I think the shy plant is a whole mood because, human contact, please don't touch me. However, her gardening habits are only when she's not doing her queenly duties, when she's not tending to the senators and going to senator meetings and whatnot, and taking care of some paperwork back in her actual office. Desiree's personality compared to Vesta's is actually, I guess, would be around the polar opposite. Vesta is seen as closed off, she's wary, and she is very jumpy around city officials because city officials have raided her home and murdered her family in front of her when she was just a child. Desiree, on the other hand, is seen as calm, but she's often excitable. Very often she's easily excited, and she will be happy about the most seemingly random things. But she's also very graceful. She's very slow to anger as well. And when she chooses to be, which is often, she is also flirtatious. So now that you've heard a little bit about her eternal reign, I am excited to see what the shenanigans are that these two ladies get into, especially Desiree, because she often sneaks out to her greenhouse and she really likes ticking her advisor off. Especially early on in the book, you see that he is easily annoyed at whatever she does or how she dresses for seemingly no reason at all. So we are going to solve the mystery together as to who's killing the nobles and why, and we are going to discover whether these two, the Moth Queen and the Shapeshifter, actually get together. I am so excited to start this project with you guys. Thank you to JC, Esther, and Nia for coming up with title ideas. And I want to give a special thanks to Desiree and Laura. Desiree because she was the hugest inspiration for this character. I mean, they even look the same. I even had Queen Desiree look at least similar or really close to Desiree M. Ortega. And Laura because she also gave me an idea, because I had the idea to make this into a duology because of His Immortal Majesty and Her Eternal Reign. I wanted to make it a duology named Them, and I wanted to thank Laura for giving me the title for that duology, Threaded Halves Endlessly Meeting. I am super excited to finish off this duology with such an equally exciting book as His Immortal Majesty was, and I am so excited to start a brand new journey with you guys. If you guys do like my content and wish to see more, please do click the subscribe button. It helps me out a lot. And I would also implore you guys to click the like button and ring the little itty bitty bell that notifies you whenever I post videos or whenever I post a short of any Dearest C, any Her Eternal Reign snippets, and I have just recently finished His Immortal Majesty snippets. So go check out all of my shorts, go check out the rest of my videos, and hopefully I will see you guys everywhere on all my socials. My link tree will be down below, and I will also link JC, Laura, Desi, as well as Nia and Esther down below as well to credit them for their oh so wonderful ideas, and I will see you guys later.